So we're going to be talking about air infiltration, and air infiltration is enemy number one. Where does air infiltration occur? Looks like the big culprits are floors, walls, and ceilings. The next biggest culprit are ducts in your house that probably in the attic space where they've been damaged over time or just poorly installed. Your fireplace, plumbing penetrations, we saw some of those. Your doors and windows, your fans and vents, and also electrical outlets. Now, here's that draft detector tool. And this is real simple. In fact, I think it would be a good thing when you visit a house that you make one of these up and you just leave it with the homeowner. Because all it is a pencil with a piece of saran wrap, you know, that sticky stuff that is real flimsy and it blows real easy. So you can walk around the house where you suspect you have air leaks, like at an electrical outlet. And you can use this tool because that flap will easily blow and you'll be able to see what's going on. Now, another thing you can use are smoke pencils, but this is something that anybody could make on their own and be able to see the movement of air. So here's all the places where air infiltration can occur. And we were just a minute ago up in the attic and we saw ductwork that was messed up. We saw light fixtures here where air was coming through. So there's all kinds of places in the attic that we've already reviewed. And then through the plates of the house where the floors meet, between the first floor and second floor, and between the first floor and the basement. Those are all areas. And so you can study this picture, and windows and doors, those are all areas where air infiltration can occur. This is a kind of an out of focus picture of a guy caulking a window, but windows and doors, make sure the frames of windows and doors are well caulked and use a good silicone or silicone acrylic 30 or 40 or 50 year caulk is what you want to use. And then here's a little, yeah, go ahead.
We had a question about the size of the bead of caulk that should be used.
That's probably going to vary. If you've got a bigger gap, you'll need to run one. But, you know, what you want to do is to run maybe I would say, without seeing a location, maybe a 1/4 inch to a 1/4 inch bead or so, and then you take your finger and wipe it down so that it kind of creates a smooth surface. So that's kind of the technique. And, you know, the first time you do it, you'll make a big mess. And the next, you know, a half hour later, you're practically an expert. But you just gotta be careful. And I always, when I'm doing it, I have a roll of paper towels when I'm caulking, and I'm constantly wiping my fingers off and throwing the paper towels away. And then I lick my finger because a wet finger kind of makes a smoother line. So you just kind of have to experiment till you get good at it. Now here's an electrical outlet with a foam gasket. And so this is a real simple, and you can get these at the hardware stores. And so what happens is that there's electrical wires and stuff that are coming into the electrical box that's behind this sheetrock here. And so I'm sure if you haven't, try it this winter. But feel electrical outlets and see the air that's coming through. And so what this foam gasket does is it helps minimize that air that comes around and into the home through electrical outlets. So when you put your cover plate on, it compresses around the edge and makes a good tight seal there. So this is a great little idea. This is another out of focus picture, but you can see what's going on. You know, you got a brick wall here. You've got a place where a couple of big pipes are going into the house, and it's obvious that this thing needs to be fixed. And so again, that great stuff foam is the way to do it. Air conditioners. On a cold, windy day, you can feel air coming through that air conditioner. So get on the outside of your house and put a cover over it of some sort. They're available at hardware stores, and you can work on the inside and the outside to help reduce that air infiltration, enemy number one. Around fireplaces, Doesn't have a very good shot. If I had had time today, I'd take a picture of my fireplace. But all around the perimeter here, I went around and caulked my fireplace. A lot of times the masonry on a fireplace is on the outside of the home. So you can caulk it on the outside, because I guarantee you that's going to be a place, if it isn't caulked, where you're going to lose heat. Now, on my fireplace, because I knew back in 1978 when I built my home that a fireplace is made of stone, and because it's made of stone, can anybody tell me what type of heat losses would be caused by that stone? It would be you would be having conduction losses through that stone, because stone is a lousy insulator. So when that stone, if it's on the outside, when it gets cold, it's going to pull the heat from the inside right out. So that's conduction losses, or the heat traveling through a material itself. I should bounce back here and also say that the fireplace chase itself, glass doors are a way to help some of those heat losses that literally go up the chimney. You can also put a balloon in the chimney in the wintertime. Some of them are actually you can take in and out, but fireplaces aren't really a great source of heat. They're great aesthetically, but they're not a great source of heat, so you lose heat up the chimney. Attic fans and attic access hatches. This is in a home that I built. We had an attic fan up there. I like to use attic fans, but boy, in the wintertime, they lose lots of heat that come down through it. So what I did was create a styrofoam cork, if you will. This was on a piano hinge, and I would drop it down into the down position, and then once a year I would put this cork up there, use weather stripping to make it airtight, and then I'd take it down in the summertime so I could use my attic fan and cool my house down at night, and then close my house up during the day. And it extended the period of time when I did not have to use air conditioning. Here's a shot of a ceiling fan where they've used styrofoam insulation around the perimeter. You can see this little white line here. That's weather stripping, so that when this lid comes down, it has a place where it'll seal, and in the wintertime keep that cold air from coming down into the house itself.